Segment 6, Nikud Arba, Nikud Aleph. Vayehi beredet hadagim. Vayehi beredet hadagim. Through this segment, you'll learn how to describe a background situation used to set the scene for a story that you're about to tell. When Hebrew wishes to describe a parallel or a background situation, it often will employ a preposition followed by an infinitive construct. Preposition plus infinitive construct. You see this in the title phrase, Vayehi beredet hadagim. In particular, notice beredet. Redet is the infinitive construct of yarad. It's preceded by the preposition be. It's not uncommon to find the expression vayehi, and it came to pass, preceding such a clause. And when that happens, then it establishes the time frame as being past tense. The infinitive on its own is tenseless, but when it's qualified by an expression like vayehi, then it's anchored in the past. It's not always necessary to translate the expression vayehi. Other elements in the English will reflect the fact that you recognize it as a past tense. So you'll find below a set of 4 background situations. Notice how they're constructed using the preposition followed by an infinitive construct. But then finish them out. Add a completion, both in Hebrew and then a translation of what you've written in Hebrew in order to round out the sentences. Let's read through them. Here is background situation Aleph. This is the sample. Beredet hadagim, beredet hadagim, vedag zaken ra'a otam. Vedag zaken ra'a otam. And you can read on the left the translation. The translation portion in bold reflects the completion portion drawn from the center column. Here is background situation Beit. Belechet ha'anashim tachat hashemesh. Belechet ha'anashim tachat hashemesh. Notice that belechet is the infinitive construct preceded by the preposition be, and then we have the subject ha'anashim directly following. Selection Gimel. Kiraot ha'isha et re'echa. Kiraot ha'isha et re'echa. Background situation Dalet. Kesetcha even gedolah. Kesetcha even gedolah. As is explained in the paragraph following background situation Dalet, the subject in the expression kesetcha is a pronoun. It's expressed by the pronominal suffix kaf and kametz added to the infinitive construct seit. So there are 3 portions in this word, as you see described in the paragraph. Ke, that is the inseparable preposition. Seit, that is the infinitive construct of nasa. And cha, which is the pronominal suffix, literally, as lifting of you, or as your lifting. As soon as you lift, concluded by the object even gedolah, a large rock. You'll want to be alert to this possibility that infinitive's construct can have as a suffix a pronoun, and this then will be the actor, the operator of that infinitive. If we were to back up one background situation to entry Gimel, suppose what it would look like if instead of the explicit subject ha'isha, we wished to say when she saw instead of when the woman saw. We could achieve this by omitting ha'isha and in its place inserting the pronominal suffix for third feminine singular, she. It would be comprised of kametz and he mapik. You can see this described in the same paragraph that follows entry Dalet. In fact, this is how we find it expressed in Genesis 39, where Potiphar's wife raised a cry as soon as she saw, using an expression such as we find in Gimel, but with pronominal suffix, not an explicit subject, ha'isha. This is part of the compactness of Hebrew, and you want to be on the lookout for these pronominal suffixes added to infinitives construct. There's one more element that we should point out before you go ahead and complete the background situations. It has to do with the time frame. Earlier we commented that often a background situation will be prefaced by vayehi, and it came to pass, informing us of a past tense time frame. Notice that those listed here, Aleph, Beit, Gimel, and Dalet, have no vayehi. There's simply an infinitive. Infinitives do not have a time frame. They can adapt to any time frame needed. Notice, however, that when we come to the translations, these in English clearly have a time frame assigned. Background situations Aleph, Beit, and Gimel have been assigned a past tense time frame. Background situation Dalet is rather general. As soon as you lift. It's as if it's a proverb. The thing to be aware of is that assigning a past tense to the translation is an interpreter's choice. That is not explicit in the Hebrew. In other words, depending on the context where these background situations were housed, that context would tell us whether or not we should be applying a past tense in our translation or a future or a present tense.